Hello and welcome to On the Wrist. Have you ever wanted a Rolex GMT Master but haven't wanted to spend $10,000 and wait multiple years on a waiting list? Well, today we have a surprisingly awesome budget-friendly alternative that has 99% the style of a GMT Master for only 1% of the cost. We're talking about the Pagani Design PD1662. This watch is less than $100 but has an automatic GMT movement, sapphire crystal, and ceramic bezel. The question is it too good to be true? We'll be answering that in this full design and technical review of the watch, so without further ado, let's get right into it. The watch I have here is something I purchased in advance of a multi-week international trip. I didn't want to bring any of my high-end watches, and a GMT was going to be valuable to me so I could keep track of my home time zone. I had always been interested in this watch, so I felt it was the perfect time to try it out. And after 3 weeks of heavy travel, it did not disappoint. Starting off with the design details, this watch is what they call an homage watch, where it takes heavy design influence from the iconic Rolex GMT Master, as you can see here on the left. It's not a counterfeit since it does keep the Pagani Design logo and has a few minor differences, but Pagani Design in general is an AliExpress brand that specializes in homage watches, copying the styles of brands like Rolex, Omega, and IWC. The bezel I chose out of the other options was the black and blue color combination, and this one looks incredibly sharp. It feels and looks like a real ceramic, and it's listed as a ceramic on the website, so I am inclined to believe them. The dial design is crisp, and the GMT text is in a blue shade that matches the blue on the GMT hand. This is a really nice design choice since it helps the GMT hand stand out, and paired with a 24-hour bezel makes it very easy to track your second time zone. The handset is a copy of the traditional Rolex design, but overall, the design is well executed and there are no defects or issues I've found. Coming out to the bracelet, I love the visual look of the smaller, polished center links. I prefer it to the oyster style bracelet as it helps give it a very nice fit and a visual pop with those smaller center links. If we come over to the clasp, it's a solid clasp. It's a little uncomfortable to unclip, but it does have a couple micro adjustment points, which is really nice and something you wouldn't expect out of a watch at this price point. You can see the notches there to adjust the end link of the bracelet. The back shows off the Chinese movement. Having an exhibition back is something that Rolex does not do and is a very nice touch by Pagani Design. The custom rotor is crisp and the rest of the movement is plainly but well finished. My only critique is I'm not sure what's going on here with this one gear and if it has something on it or if it's supposed to be that color. Let's talk technical specs. The technical specs will pull up on the left. The diameter is 40 millimeters with the case thickness being 12.5 millimeters thick. Lug width is 20 millimeters and it has a 10 bar or 100 meter water resistance, a sapphire crystal front and back, has the exhibition back micro adjustment clasp, the bezel is ceramic, and it's an automatic GMT movement. There is solid lume on the hands and indices, which includes the GMT hand and is this very nice blue color. Let's get a couple shots on the wrist. Here you have it on my 7.5 inch wrist. I think 40 millimeters is a very comfortable size. I've recently been deciding I want to go up in size, but I think 40 is a well positioned to fit on most people's wrists. This watch looks spectacular on the wrist. The blue and black color combination is striking. The bracelet fits nicely, and because of those smaller links, it's very easy to get a very comfortable fit around the wrist. The GMT feature is very legible and it's easy to track that second time zone with just a quick look at the wrist. Very classic Rolex style in a much more affordable package. Despite this watch being less than $100 US, I do have two minor critiques. First is that while the bezel makes a great clicking sound when it moves, I find it moves fairly easily, and while I wear, I frequently have to reset the bezel to the proper location to keep track of the second time zone. The second critique is that while I love the look of the bracelet, the spacings in the bracelet are too large and I think it shows too much of your wrist below it. I do not have an issue with it catching my arm hair, but it might be an issue for some. Let's talk MSRP and value. MSRP of this watch on AliExpress ranges from as low as $61 to $80. This is less than 1% the cost of a new Rolex GMT II Master, and a fractional percentage of what it would cost you to get that same Rolex on the gray market as opposed to an AD. The downside to AliExpress is that the shipping will take a few weeks, but it's also available on Amazon for $126 with Prime shipping if you don't want to wait. At either price point, this is a monstrous deal. I have frequently been impressed with the quality and value that Pagani Design represents, and this is yet another great example. I wore this for 3 weeks straight with no issues. It was comfortable, it was stylish, and it's held up well. The design is crisp, and while not original, are well done. It's amazing that this is so low cost for how nice a watch it is. Closing thoughts? To answer the original question, is this too good to be true? No, it's actually better than it seems due to the strong execution from Pagani Design. This watch is an excellent choice for someone who wants Rolex style but doesn't want to spend 5 figures on a watch. This is a great affordable option with a solid feature set and excellent design. But let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about Pagani Design? What do you think about this watch? I'd love to hear what you have to say. That's all for me today. This has been On The Wrist. Thank you for watching.